terminal ballistics. Pistols put holes in people. Rifles put holes through people. Shotguns at the right range with the right load will physically remove a chunk of off your opponent and throw that on the floor.
Are you gonna call the ambulance? Welcome to the new year, and it looks like we're already batting at 1,000. So for day one, so far we already got bombings in Las Vegas, mowings in New Orleans, and maybe you yourself are saying, what would be a good new home defense option? I'm really thinking about getting serious about home defense. So we'll dive right in there. So I'm not here to tell you which option is going to be better than the other, but I'm going to provide facts, opinions, and experience I personally have so you can make your decision on what you want to use to defend your home. One of the biggest things I hear a lot when it comes to home defense is the drywall argument. Everything goes through drywall. Just ask every monster drinker named Kyle, okay? Everything goes through drywall. Grandson has actually covered a video on this proving that no matter what you shoot, it's gonna go through it.
Yeah, that smokes. Yeah, I heard a lot of people say like, oh, 5.56 will break up in drywall. That's a lead round, bro. I think we're in for a bad time. I think you're just killing your neighbor no matter what you do at this point.
But you shouldn't use that to take away from your decision on how you want to defend your home. The first option we have is the handgun. For reference, we have the P320 9mm, and this is honestly a great option for home defense for new owners. One of the pros for having a handgun as your self-defense option is it is very light recoil, especially the 9mm. It's very easy to control. Because it's such a small, light package, it's easy to maneuver through rooms if you're trying to CQB through your home. Depending on where you live, you can get varying capacities in magazines where you can go from 10 rounds. This guy specifically is 21 round mag. And you can take this guy everywhere as your everyday carry. Some of the cons, being that it's a handgun, it is statistically harder to shoot. Because unlike a rifle or a shotgun, you do not have 3 points of contact. You only have 2. So it takes a lot of training to really learn how to absorb recoil and get effective rounds on target. It is not hard to do. I'll admit though, it did take me a year to learn how to shoot a handgun effectively and efficiently. Another con is 90% of people who are shot by handguns do not die and survive through it, which I know nobody wants to kill anybody. I don't wish that on anybody. However, if it's a life or death situation and you need to decide between your life or another person, I hope you choose the other person and choose to protect your own life. But that being said, as I said, 9mm or handgun rounds are not very great at dropping targets. Another con on top of that is self-defense rounds are very expensive. Full metal jackets like you use for practice shooting will not cut it for self-defense. The next item on our list is rifle systems. For reference, here we have an AR platform in 5.56. The pros for this guy, they are very easy to use. There's a reason why the military trusts 18-year-old kids right out of high school with these things, because they're stupid easy to use. I don't care what politicians say. And they are designed to be that way. They come in varying capacities. I think I've seen one for like a 5-round mag to 10-round mags. Your standard capacity mags that is 30 rounds. You can even go up to a 45-round mag and even drum mags. It is very easy to keep a lot of rounds down range, especially if you're being met with multiple threats. Another pro, depending on how long the barrel is and also depending on the caliber you're using, the longer the barrel, the more velocity you're getting out of that bullet, so the more effective that bullet is. Unlike the handgun, you don't have to really spend a lot of dough for defensive rounds. A standard 5.56 coming out of a 16-inch barrel moving at 2,700 feet per second, is going to be a very effective round and is going to vibe check anything it hits. Cons. Now, it's not really a con, but it can be. This guy in particular can be very hard to maneuver in buildings to do your CQB type stuff. But it's also not exactly a con because there are other AR platforms like an AR pistol or an SBR, if you have the money for that, to get a 10-inch barrel or a 5-inch barrel and really get in tight moving through rooms and stuff. So it's a con, but not exactly a con. Other cons, there's a lot of states that are not very friendly to this platform. So, and if you can't have this platform, you get a very neutered version of this platform. Going back to the varying sizes of the AR platform, 5.56 is going to be very loud. Any gun inside a house or a room or an apartment, what have you, is going to be very loud. But if you get a 10-inch 5.56 being shot down a hallway, the rest of your family isn't going to be very happy when their ears are ringing.
Or your neighbors down the hall.
Or your neighbors down the hall, yeah. So, going back to the drywall argument, 5.56 moving at a very high velocity will go through a lot of drywall. Now, I still don't think it should really determine your decision on what you want to use for home defense, because even then, militaries around the world are still using the 5.56 for CQB, so take that for as you will. Another con, especially for the new gun owner who's not even sure if they want to get into this culture, the AR platform can be a very expensive platform. Maybe not right off the bat, because you can get a PSA AR for about 500 bucks, but all the attachments that go towards it they can start adding up real quick. Now, I'm a big believer in you get what you pay for, and the buy once, cry once. But it is something to take into mind. Now, every boomer's favorite.
Buy shotgun. Buy shotgun.
12-gauge shotgun. Pros for this guy. It has a massive track record as a home defense weapon for hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years?
This thing's been around since the shotgun platform has been around since the 1700s.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, actually, arguably the 1600s, but it was more like muskets with a bunch of balls in it. Cannons were actually had the concept of a shotgun. It's just a bunch of crap you could put down a barrel and just shoot it out that way. But yeah, it is a very effective tool, especially at close range, because you essentially have like 9mm bullets coming down you at one time. And these things are just stupid easy to use. As long as you can have your trigger finger in sync with this arm pumping it up and down. Safeties would probably be the only thing that can make this thing a little difficult, because shotguns have different safeties in different places, but it's not exactly a hard thing to overcome at all.
Well, that's my safety, sir.
Now, my problem with the shotguns is, as much as I love the pros that come with a shotgun, the cons outweigh the pros. For instance, it is flow capacity. At any point, I think this guy is like a six round in the tube, 5 or 6 in the tube, and 1 in the chamber, so essentially 7 or 6 rounds no matter what. And on top of that, it is very difficult to reload. Now, that is not something that can be overcome with training, but it's kind of hard to do with a shotgun. It's more meant for like competition. You orient your shotgun shell like that, and you can if you're good enough, you can get in one. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm not that good enough, but still got it. But at the same time, in my opinion, I can put that training into something mag-fed, like an AR or a handgun, and get more out of it. The 590 had a massive box magazine, or the Sega 12. But in execution, they ended up being total crap. The Origin 12 is the only one I can think of that's mag-fed that's actually a really good shotgun. However, I have never gotten my hands on that shotgun. I have never shot it, but from what I hear, it is a great platform.
Did you shoot the other ones?
The 590 with the box mag, yes.
Okay.
I have shot that one and that thing sucks. Other cons is, it is like this shotgun right here, it's a very long package. So it can be very difficult to maneuver through rooms, through buildings, and you kind of got to do this thing to really get through a door. But once again, that can also be tackled by training. However, the training can go into other stuff I feel would be more beneficial. Another con to this, 12 gauge is a heavy kicker. It does have some recoil. If you are a buck 12 wet, you're gonna have a hard time shooting this. Me, I actually have I'm going through a really nasty back injury, and I was actually hurting a little bit while I was shooting it today.
Yeah, that hurts.
So you also got to take that into mind. Like, can I control this weapon system in a self-defense, in a high stakes, high adrenaline, high pulsating situation? Control recoil, reload it, maneuver it, and maneuver through my household effectively. The other issue with a shotgun is it doesn't have, well, I guess depending on the shotgun, it doesn't have a magazine, so it's very hard to store ammo or carry ammo on you, except besides loose. Now you can do what I did with the S-Tac little carriers right here, little Velcro carriers. Now you can put it on your kit that's Velcro, take it off, slap it on there, and you could have like a bunch of those. That's one option you can do, but besides that, there's not a lot of ways to carry shotgun shells on you. Reloading earlier, it's just a lot more difficult. I love the shotgun. The cons outweigh the pros for a shotgun. Okay, let's move tonight. Earthly wisdom: get active. Go on a hike, go touch some grass while we still have some. The snow should be coming in pretty soon, hopefully. Even then, touch some snow, okay? We have a high rate of depression amongst our generation, and I think a lot of it has to do with us staying inside too long, being lazy. Just get off your butt. Go on a hike. You don't. I'm not saying go to the gym, which you probably should, but just get active. Get some sun on your face. I say that ironically as there's clouds out. Just go out and be active. You won't feel it at first, but after a while, you'll start feeling a little bit happier. Spiritual wisdom: you can only find joy in Jesus Christ and in the gospel. Things of this world will fail. Flowers will wilt, grass will turn brown, but the word of God is forever. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you liked it. Like and subscribe. If you got any comments, and if you disagree with me, please tell me in the comments and let's have a great discussion. Thank you guys. Till next time. Whoop.